Okay, so here we are around in the corner of phase one of composting. There's all my tools sitting up straight out of the way, washed off, getting ready for another go around. Excuse the mower in the background, but I couldn't wait any longer. The rains are coming and time to start buckling up. So next phase is the straw phase. I've got all my layers up. I'm going to have to be coming back to finish this off in another week or two and take care of the shrinkage and bring it up to the top and set it up to be either a watershed or a water catcher. So here's the hay, last bit of the hay going on. So that's not all that complicated. You know, if I'm in a real rainy environment, I'll dome the top to make it into a watershed. So that'll come in the next phase. Or if I'm in an area that doesn't get much rain, I'll actually dome it and then put a ditch, a groove in the top to gather whatever water, depending on the nature of my environment. This is my little ID tag. I've got a little device that will print out red, white letters on red, or black on white, or white on black. You have any number of choices. This is a veneer blind, Venetian blind type of material. You can get them from the blind store. Every year they have a portfolio of things that they get rid of. So this is a UV impervious plastic, ick, but it serves its purpose, and UV resistant tag. So you can simply insert that. There'll be a constant reminder of when you built your compost pile, and depending on whether you're interested in compost or humus will depend on the time frame. If you leave it long enough, we'll go through a winter probably here if we decide to go through into the humic state, and have convinced the owners of this compost pile to wait, and they'll have an explosion of worms. Right now they've got maybe three worms per shovelful. That might be a little on the high side from what they're saying. 7 worms per shovelful is a sign of healthy soil. So I keep getting the same comment, this is a lot of work. And yes, I agree, it's a lot of work. But really when it comes down to, it's about a week. It's about a week of 3 hours here, 3 hours there, and then a long weekend of the build. So when you think about the rewards that you're getting for building your own compost, that connection to Mother Nature, there's more and more talk about how Americans have become indoor bound, and we're suffering from the reality of being trapped inside all the time, and we have a mindset that we have to be inside, and most of us don't like getting this kind of. But the rewards from building this is not just the compost, it's that connection to Mother Nature. They always tell you that kids are a lot sicker now because they haven't gone out and played in the dirt. It's a minor amount of our internal makeup, our DNA, I suppose, is actually of human origin. A majority of it is from exterior influences, and a lot of those exterior influences come from simply playing in the dirt, absorbing the dust and the microorganisms to a certain level. When you get into where you're creating huge dust farms, like riding a lawnmower or any of that sort of thing, then you're probably wanting to wear a dust mask. So anything in life, a little is good and a lot is not good. So farmers are now trying to group together. Maybe 5 farms are getting together. They're finding that one individual that enjoys making compost, and those farms will supply the materials for that particular farmer to make the compost, and then they all come, take it back. That's going to be windrows and big, huge machinery, but that's the sort of thing they need. And I think most of the farmers have figured out what they've been doing for the last 100 or 200 years, that the promises of the simple NPK didn't show up, and then it was nutrients, and now it just keeps going and building, and things are getting more and more out of control. And certainly the orange industry is a perfect example of where modern ag can no longer take care of the problems, the greening. There just isn't anything that's coming up. Whether composting is the solution, I don't know. But it's certainly what we've been doing. Some people think this is wacky and bizarre. I guess I'd have to challenge you and say what we're doing is really wacky and bizarre. So perhaps this might be the way to go. So it's certainly, as far as you and your yard and being responsible for the plot of land, whether you're just renting or living, it makes no difference. Take and make your little spot correct. And I find that the biodynamic suits me. I like the sensitivity of it. I like the thought process of it. I have a strong admiration for Rudolf Steiner. I can't think of anybody that I've read in the history books that come up to the degrees of knowledge and intensity. And I'm finding that by my connection with biodynamics, that any question I have comes along as an answer. Usually whatever I ask for, I get. Sometimes it would be nice to win the lottery, I suppose, but if I maybe started playing it, I might win, but something tells me that's not the way I want to go. So anyway, I personally have a great faith in the biodynamic system, much more than what's going on now.